Hey, 126, and I've got another story for you today. Again, another experience calling for me to be assertive. I told you a story a couple weeks back dealing with my stepson, and I feel like I have a lot of these that are going to come up. As I've talked about previously, before any time these types of situations would come up, I would get so angry that I wouldn't be able to have confrontation with somebody. If it was an uncomfortable conversation that needed to be had, I either wouldn't have it or I would just complain about it to my wife and she would somehow handle it. Maybe send a text message to somebody, but I would not handle it. But now it's my world. I set my standards. I need to handle it. And I'll get to that in just a second. But I wanted to mention that I did post another sleep meditation with affirmations today. It's another 8 hour one. It's about almost 8 hours. And I feel like this one's a lot better because the affirmations are short and sweet, and it involves health, wealth, love, and happiness, which I've talked about before, are the four pillars that Tai Lopez had talked about. And so I included 5 affirmations. There's 20 affirmations altogether in this video. And that's basically what the experts and people who've done research said to do, was to have 15 to 20 affirmations, no more than that. This way, you're getting the same affirmations over and over and over again, and you can impress the subconscious with consistent affirmations instead of having a video with a whole bunch of affirmations and it's just like you're asking for all these different things. Now the focus is just locked in on a small set of affirmations over and over and over again. So check it out. Let me know what you think. If if you're curious and you want to you know, experiment a little bit. But it's my second sleep affirmation, and as I said, I'm only going to get better and better. So check it out. Give me some feedback if you want. I'd appreciate it. The Lions Den, real quick. 5 people posted. Nora came back, so you have Brent, Kate, Thankful, Shadow Flare, and Nora. Haven't heard from Lee Hodges yet, but he normally, sometimes goes every other day, so I expect him to leave a check mark there. Lee, also, I mentioned it. Why have you? I'm waiting for that positive feedback on the questions that you said you were going to leave after applying the questions for 7 days. You said you've seen changes, so I'm curious to hear your changes, and I feel like everyone else will be curious to hear as well. But all right, so here's the story. So my daughter and I walk her down to the bus. The bus picks her up at the bottom of our driveway every morning. And since we moved here, we normally go out like 10 minutes early to wait for the bus. And that's like our time. It's like our golden time. It's like sacred. It's just her and I, and it's our conversation. We can either just stand there and be next to each other in each other's presence and like point out the scenery and the clouds and the birds, whatever we want to do, but it's our time. And so we've had that time until the last couple of days. As I mentioned yesterday with the groundhog and the little girl that lives across the street, they just moved here recently. So now she's taken the bus. And as I said, their house is 100 yards, but they're basically like right across the street. So on Tuesday, we're standing out there waiting for the bus, and I've met the dad a few times, and we've exchanged pleasantries, but we haven't hung out or anything. And so he's out there with his dog, and he sees us, and so he comes down, crosses the street, comes down to say hello. The dog's there, my dog's there. My dog is not, you know, he gets excited when he sees other dogs, so he starts, kind of being a little out of control. And so everything was fine. 5 minutes comes, the bus comes, and that's it, and we're good. And I'm like, okay, that was fine. He just came down to say hello. I'm glad he feels comfortable enough to come, to come and say hello. The next day, okay, standing there waiting for the bus. Now he doesn't have his dog, but it's him and his wife, and their daughter. And I see them again. They're come walking down the street, and they come over, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, like, kind of like, that's your space, this is our space. I realize, like, we've seen we're kind of semi friends, but it's like it's the morning, like. So I felt a certain kind of way, but I'm like, okay, maybe since his wife's there, this is a little different. So she wants to come down and say hello. And, everything was fine. They didn't bring the dog. So I'm like, okay, he probably got the picture. He understands, like, bringing the dog. And so I felt like he was recognizing social cues at that point. I'm friendly, but not like overly friendly. And so I want him to I want the message to be like, all right, like, I like you guys, but at the same time, my daughter and I, just let's keep a little distance. And so that was yesterday. Today, I kind of hung back a little bit with my daughter at the top of the driveway, just to, like, try and create a little bit of space, feeling like if we go out, like, not 10 minutes before the bus at the bottom of the driveway, but maybe 5 minutes before the bus, then it's like a little later. And even if they see us, it'll kind of be like they'll just kind of stay in their lane, and we can still have our time. And as we're walking down the driveway, it's almost like they were standing there, like, waiting to see, our face, like, pop it. Wait, as soon as they saw us, it was like they started making their way over. And so my daughter actually turned. I haven't said anything to my daughter. I've just been kind of keeping this all inside. And my daughter turns and says, she's like, Dad, she's like, why are they coming over again? Like, I like us to have our time together. I like it, when it's just me and you, and we have our talk and conversation. And I said, I know. I said, I was trying to lay back a little bit, but. And so they come over, and he brings the dog again. And so now, my dog again going insane. He's going berserk because he wants to, and it was just kind of like an uncomfortable situation, as to where now I'm like, come on, bro. Like, this is 3 days in a row. Like, now you're bringing the dog again. So you didn't recognize the social cues. And so it was uncomfortable because I decided to make it uncomfortable. I didn't even really talk to him that much. I said hello, and, like, that was it. But it's like no one could enjoy anything with my dog going nuts. And so Peyton gets on the bus. She leaves. I call my wife. I send a text message to my wife to have her call me, and because I want to talk to her about this situation, because it's like, I like them. They're nice people. But at the same time, the message needs to be delivered, because this is my world. Okay, this is your world. You have to set standards and let your subconscious know what is acceptable in your world. And so, my world, the world that I want, I get to just kind of chill with my daughter before she gets on the bus. She's 9 years old. I don't know how long I have, how many of these moments that I'm still going to have. There's probably going to come a time where she's not going to want me to stand there with her to wait for the bus. And so I was talking to my wife and I'm like, hey, here's what's going on. And she's like, yeah, he actually told me that the other day, that he was going to come over and stand with you guys every day. And I was like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, I didn't ask him. This is, that's something he said to you. You don't even wait for the bus with her. So now I have to have a conversation with him, which I'm going to, and let him know, like, hey, this isn't personal, but this is our time. It's sacred time between my daughter and I. This is our time. And, I'm going to deliver the message gently, but at the same time, I'm also going to be assertive. And this is something that I would not do ever before falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. I would have my wife handle it and then have to wait for her. And then who knows how she would handle it. And that would make me kind of uncomfortable because then I don't know what she said. And then if I see them next time and they seem like they're a little uncomfortable, which they probably would be because I would be thinking about it, and it would just ruin the whole energy. But now that I'm going to handle it, I know exactly how I'm going to handle it. I know exactly what I'm going to say. And it's up to him whether he wants to take it personally. But it's my world. Again, I'm setting the standard here. I'm letting my subconscious know what is acceptable in my world and what I want more of in my world and what I don't want more of in my world. All right. So I just wanted to give you another example of when to be assertive, because there's going to be a lot of times, I'm telling you, especially if you've been like me, like where you just kind of shy away from uncomfortable conversations with people, because the person that I want to become, that successful person, he's able to have these conversations all day, every day, and be 100% comfortable in those conversations because he knows he's creating his world. And whether the other person gets uncomfortable or not, that's none of his business. It's none of my business. What's my business is creating the world and the reality that I want. All right. I hope that helped. I hope that was helpful. And that's going to be it for today. Day 126 in the books. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow, day 127. I appreciate you watching, and enjoy your night. Go Eagles.